Okay, I've been working with young people for 10 years. I've been doing targeted work with young people for around 7 of those years. I started with Westminster 3 months ago, and my title is the Gangs Worker with the Gang and Violence Team. I arrived in Westminster from Wandsworth, where I spent 10 years, and I worked with some of the prolific gangs in the local areas, and
well, basically the reason I'm asking you to speak is we've got an idea for a project that we think is good. So we're obviously going to specialist staff to kind of pitch our idea and to get your feedback as to what you think of it. So we had this idea, our remit is, our topic is stay safe. Okay, so we had this idea of giving a platform for young people to create a music video that would then be shown to their peers, and also to link it into the social media, because we've had a lot of, as you're probably aware, issues with YouTube, gang-affiliated videos on YouTube, and I know from my own case working of young people being in those videos and therefore making themselves vulnerable. Just as an idea, what do you think of that, and have you come across anything like that before?
yeah, I've come across that in my previous role.
Okay.
It's DVD workshops whereby it focuses on specific areas such as drugs, gangs, stop and search, robbery, sexual exploitation, shoplifting, all different issues that young people can find themselves caught up in, especially if they're not in education or during school time, they're out in the community. So how it usually works with the DVD workshops that I've seen is that you'll have young people that star in the DVDs, and they basically role play. They'll play out a scenario, how it, in terms of how the situation comes about. But what usually happens is there's clear indications as to where a positive decision can be made to avoid going down that path. Or, if you do get caught up, the different ways that you can sort of get caught up into that situation. So it plays out, usually plays out in a negative context. But after the end of it, there's an opportunity for young people to come together and discuss what they've seen. And sort of see how different ways how they could, if they themselves was in that situation, how they could have handled it better.
Okay, and how do you find the young people using that? Those, like you said, the DVD things. What's the response?
The response is usually good, because there are elements of that I guess there's elements of what they see in normal TV programs. You've got EastEnders, you've got Coronation Street, that they try to address some of the issues with young people, but having material from that's been produced by people that are local, people that you can identify with, people that you actually know, that has much more of an impact.
Okay, and like I said, this is a project that we're hoping to be successful on. If we are, we get given £1,000. Now, I know you're part of the Your Choice project and you're borough-wide. We are a northwest locality, so would we be able to access some of the money that you would have in your fund for our project?
Sure. Yes, I'm on camera now. I think that's a very good move. But in all seriousness, as long as it's hitting a certain criteria.
Okay, which is? What would be?
For me, what I'd be looking for is early intervention. It's something definitely that can go into schools.
Yes.
And can be used as a workshop. And I think it is quite cost effective, because it's something that you can sort of revisit throughout the academic year, maybe in future years if it's done the right way. It's something that you could use again and again. So I guess you've got the one cost making, and then the only sort of variable cost would be delivering it.
Yeah.
or if you can find a effective way of just utilising the workshop.
Yeah. And what age range do you think it would be relevant for?
I would say 8 to 13.
8 to 13? Okay.
Because they're from 8-year-old upwards, they're starting to have aspirations, they're noticing what the older age range, the 13 to 17-year-olds are doing, and so it goes on. The 13 to 17-year-olds are aspiring to be the 18 to 24 bracket.
Yeah.
So catching them early at that stage through DVDs or through video would be really instrumental. Because looking at 13 to 17-year-olds, it's very difficult to sort of get them to sit down. The concentration span is quite short, and then the credibility of what you're delivering, they'll probably sort of look on the funny side of it rather than the message. Whereas the 8 to 13s, it's just if it's pitched just right, then I can see them absorbing it and working with it.
Okay. And how do you think it would be best for us to get our cohort young people of that age group?
Through probably drama workshops.
Okay.
If you were to do a workshop or set up the role play and get them to create as much as possible, give them the idea and see how it plays out, because they're very, young people can be very creative. Some of the things that we're trying to convey, you give them the idea and they're able to sort of do a lot with that. So if you present it to them in the form of an idea, see if they can sort of improvise with it. And as it develops, just give a bit of guidance and then introduce the idea of bringing the camera, not like how you've done with me, just hit me with the camera. Give them that, get them sort of ready to do a play out the final session in front of the cameras and get them to watch it as well, to see what they think about it.
This is a platform we're going to give for young people to really, we're going to give them this sort of stay safe, and then they can take what they want. Obviously, they're kind of going into gangs, and it's also about personal safety. But what would you want to see? Something to stay safe, that some for young people, what would you hope that the young people addressed in that? What would you be hoping for?
I'd be looking for sort of awareness, getting young people to be aware of how something small within Stay Safe, a particular subject within Stay Safe, whether it be from substance misuse or staying in education.
Because I think what we wanted to kind of concentrate on was the gangs. So it's like staying safe from gangs, also because our group is called Streetwise. So it's also about personal safety, because we want to make it quite specific about personal safety on the streets. So from gangs, but what specifically does that mean for gangs? It's like just making sure you're not in dark areas, or groups where you can walk. Is that kind of an awareness thing? Do you think that's what young people should be thinking about?
The area, in terms, when we're thinking of gangs, the area is worse. We're talking about the context of walking, but the reality is that a lot of young people are on the social media, in terms of Facebook, Blackberries, and that could be within the confines of your home. So, gang life and the impact of gang life, it's much more deeper than the physical on travelling around areas. For me, it would be, as I was saying before, it's about the awareness. It's about knowing that, looking at protective factors. Not everyone has the same kind of secure base in terms of parents or older brothers that are sort of privy to what's going on, or actively encouraging people to say, look, if you've got a problem, come and talk to me. But creating a resource where it's making you think, well, at least if I've got no one at home to talk to, or I can't bring it to anyone, as practitioners, there's people in this room that I can probably come and talk to. So just getting them to kind of realise that they're not on their own, and if they are in trouble, or feel there's an issue, or they need to talk to someone, that they've got access points to do that. So I'm for me, it's more creating that awareness, empowering that young person to be able to go and talk to someone, or if not, if they've got that protective factor at home, then getting them to use it, to sort of use their voice.
Thank you.